is the weekly forecast for week commencing July 21, 2025. So 21st of July, 2025. Each week I like to bring through the wisdom of the tarot using my deck, the Mythic Tarot, and guidance from the spirit world as I interpret the cards of the energy of the week to see what's ahead and how we can use that guidance for our own personal journey. So let's begin. The first card we're going to look at is the Influence card. This card influences the week. It influences all the cards. It informs the cards. And here we have Ace of Wands. Loving Ace of Wands for that upsurge of energy that says, let's go. All the cards that have, all the previous weeks, probably the past 6 weeks or so, have been preparing us to let go of the past things, cord cutting, making decisions about what we're letting go. And now we have the rocket, the get going. I'm interested to see what the rest of the cards for the week are, but the influence is about let's get motivated. That means get up and go. The motivation is there, the energy is there to take off. How are we going to use that? The next card we're looking at is the Conscious Self. Here we have the King of Swords. I think he turned up last week as well. The King of Swords represents getting our house in order. That's the words that came into my mind. So if we are having the influence of the Ace of Swords about let's get going, it's not allowed to be messy. The King of Swords is asking us to organize ourselves in quite a strong way. Not, oh, let's do this and let's do that. If you've got a way of organizing yourself, put that into place. If you've got a calendar, a schedule, even if you're a chaotic person like I am, it means that start having something or some sort of schedule or order in place so that you can take advantage of that Ace of Wands energy. We're going to have a look at the unconscious now. This is our soul guidance, our guidance like from our guides, our angels, and this is the unknown. This is the unseen spiritual force that we may or may not be tapped into, but it's a clue about how we are being looked after and guided to help us stay on track this week, especially with the King of Swords. Here we have the Four of Cups. It's an interesting card, the Four of Cups, because it's the card of gossip. It is the card of where are we being influenced by other external sources or energies where we have previously listened to. The Four of Cups suggests that we are now going to be able to identify where we are led off our track or off our path by external sources that are a little bit self-invested in their own gossip and their own journey and their own story. So this suggests to me that this is why we have to be quite specific about the path that we're going down. The intention must be quite clear because we're going to be easily swayed. And the Four of Cups is there to highlight where we are swayed. How will we know? We will feel uncomfortable in ourselves. Our mind might start to get a bit fuzzy about something. So if you divulge something to somebody or put it up on social media and other voices pop in to start muddying the waters, it doesn't mean that you're not ready. It's Four of Cups in action and your guidance highlighting to you where it's to shut that down. Doesn't mean to say you have to get rid of everybody out of your life, but to shut that voice down on your project or your way ahead about how you see yourself and your place in the world this week. And that goes across all of our life events, career, relationships, health, our spiritual journey, where we're living, our money. You can apply these cards to all of those areas of your life. So now we're going to have a look at my favorite, probably this week anyway, is the challenge part of the reading. Here we have the Empress. So the challenge represents what we fear. What is it that we have a vulnerability with? And not a vulnerability in a good way, but can trip us up. And this is what we're working on in ourselves, in our self-awareness and self-development to help us stay on track. So this is a great card. If anyone says, oh, something's blocking me, I'm self-sabotaging, blah, blah, all the things that go with that, this is the message that I highlight. As if you want to work on yourself, if you want to be self-aware, tune into this. And here we have, as I said, the Empress. The Empress is nurturing. The Empress is abundance. The Empress means that the hard work we put in, we will reap the benefits and the rewards. So if we want to be successful in whatever it is that we're doing and stay on track, the Empress says it's okay to put the hard work in. We are going to be successful. More often than not, we'll self-sabotage ourselves saying, oh, I'm not going to put too much work in because this never works out for me. Or I'm not going to put that hard work in because I don't have time. All of those things. These are the blocks that we will be coming up against. The Empress, when we're working with her in this challenge section, says that she is here to boost our productivity. So you know what? Tap into her energy of abundance, of nurturing, looking after the body, looking after the self, where you can be the mother in your own life. How would you like to mother yourself even if you don't have a great example of a mother in your life? How do you think you would prefer to be mothered? Do that for yourself. And this is how you're going to lift yourself up and build yourself up. Be your own mother. And that way, the work that you put in is going to pay off, guaranteed, because the Empress is in play. Use her energy. You can even use her as a meditation this week. And again, I might use that as a meditation for our Meditation Monday. So, what does this mean? Our action. How can we act? How will we act? What's the best action moving forward? Action card. Page of Swords. It's a funny little card for action because the page is very sort of not very grounded. Page of Swords is 100% about the mind. If we act in a way, look how he's clearing the air. See how he's having an out breath. Yes, he might be up off the ground in the clouds, but in order to be clear, it's about clearing out the old. Now, as I said at the beginning of this reading, we've been cutting a lot of cords. The stuff that's left now, breathe it out. Move it away. It'll be in our energy field, so there's lots of different ways that we can breathe it out, remove it from our energy, and disperse it back to the universe. So our action, in order to become crystal clear, if we're not clear, and that self-sabotage of, I can't do this, it's too hard, too much, blah, 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 clear the air. In other words, if those thoughts pop up that are wanting to, only the thoughts, are wanting to pull you back down into some sort of space, do some exercises, action. What is it that you do to clear your head, clear the air? Breath work. Go out for a walk in nature, breathing in that beautiful air, breathing out, breathing in the goodness, and exhaling the stress and the tension and everything that is negative, because the Page of Swords tells me that it's all loose, all ready to be expelled. There's no more cord cutting left to do. It's all going to go once we set an intention that it's gone. So there's lots of different exercises that you can do to clear the energy and the air of the aura. Imagine this. Sorry, I just got a picture I'm going to tell you. Imagine that your energy field, your aura, which is sits in the fourth, I want to say fourth dimension, but it's the fourth chakra, or the fourth auric field, the astral field. All of the thoughts, all of the concerns, all of the things that we've cut loose are still floating around. They're not attached to us anymore, but they're still affecting us or may have a bit of a bias. They're so ready to go. They're like flotsam. Just blow them out, blow them away like dust. Do a bit of a mental tidy, if you like. Lots of ways to clear the air. Breathing in, breathing it out. And again, use the guidance of the Page of Swords, of the imagery there to do that. So what is our possible future? Where are we heading with all this? If we implement these shifts and changes, where will we end up? Possibly end up. Look at this. The Hierophant. Hierophant represents, I want to say this time, higher learning. He has a number of different meanings, but in this instance, it's higher learning, reaching a higher plane in our understanding. So for this purpose, for this reading, our spiritual development is growing, it is increasing, and we have an opportunity this week to tap into something that is deeper within us, a deeper understanding of ourselves, of our journey, and why we're here. What am I here for? Now, do not use this exercise as a punishment to think, I can't work this out, and to confuse your mind, thinking, oh, because if I clear all these things, I'm going to know what my purpose is. No, the Hierophant is here to help you realize that purpose by being your guide. He represents the spiritual side of ourselves that is the guide that guides us through those unknown realms of energy and the depth that sometimes we see in the moon, that unknown. He's there to help us make sense of it for us, not for the rest of our lives, but for us right now. So you can use him in a way, as into meditation's a great way to connect to the soul self. I'm getting more like this is about study and reading and expanding our knowledge by seeking out those that resonate with how you feel about yourself and your journey this week. Again, it can be applied to relationships, it can be applied to your career, your money, your health, and so on and so forth, your spiritual journey. But our journey, if you're listening to this forecast, we're all about our soul selves, our spiritual journey this lifetime. And these cards are an indication that this week we have an opportunity to delve a little bit deeper into who we are and to resonate with that deeper purpose. I can feel it deep in my heart, in my soul. We have an opportunity to tap into that. So on that note, what is our karmic journey? What is our soul working towards, or what is it working towards understanding? We talked about the Hierophant allowing us to dip into it. This is what we are bringing to our spirit, our soul journey. Four of Wands. Four of Wands in this instance represents our people, the people that we resonate with. Who is it that understands us? And when we sit with them, we feel at peace, in a resonance, and we don't have to use too much language in order to get a point across or have a discussion. They love us, they support us in our everyday life as friends, as family members, as mentors, as people that we randomly meet. They're the ones that we are going to recognize and know intimately that this is the way forward. We are going to bring them in closer. It may be a social relationship, as in friendship. It may be more personal, as in family, someone who knows you intimately, or a partner, someone who understands you intimately. Or it could be on a parasocial relationship where we find a group or somebody, especially in social media and the internet now, where they get us. When we hear them, we feel heard and seen. And so that's what this week is highlighting and bringing into our focus. Where do we belong? Who is our real spiritual family? Okay, on that note, I'm going to wind up. Thank you so much. That was the weekly forecast for this week, commencing July 21st, 2025. My name is Dr. Vicki Haspels. I'm the Tarot Coach. And thank you so much for joining me. And see you next week. Mwah. Bye for now.